There is one part of being confident that if you don't get right, totally destroys people's perception of how confident you really are. I'll tell you after this. Hi, it's Jo here from Confidence Talks. And the really important thing I'm talking about is the handshake. If you don't get the right handshake, people could think you're overcompensating or that you're totally weak and lacking in confidence. So getting the handshake right is extremely important. So today we're going to explore the different types of handshakes and which one we think is most important. Alright, so I have my trusty arm. Voila. Belongs to my husband. Alright, and he's going to be my model today. So the first handshake that is not a good handshake is the viselike grip. And it's when basically you're crushing or being crushed by the opposition, by the other person. And often, thank you, you come away and it's rather painful. So when you use a vice-like grip, it's as if you're trying to prove that you're stronger than the other person. But if you are giving the impression that you have something to prove, then how confident are you really? So the vice-like grip is not recommended. The next handshake is the wet fish. And it's yucky, it's creepy, there's no strength to it, thanks for that. It's really just lacking in a backbone or spine. And therefore that's what people see you being if you use a wet fish. So you don't actually put any effort behind it, you want them to shake your hand and you just hold it there. Again, not a good way to shake hands. The third way is just right. And that's where you meet the other person's strength. Hopefully they're not giving you a wet fish. Right, you have hold of the other person's hand and you just pump it a few times. Okay? So that's the best way to shake hands. A firm grip, but not too firm. No wet fish. We don't want fish and chips for dinner. We don't want anything like that. There is one other point to make when it comes to shaking hands, and that is whether you are trying to dominate or whether the partner is actually trying to dominate you, or whether you're going to be submissive or they are being submissive. And the way this is when the person who you're shaking hands with comes in with their hand on top. Can you see that? So rather than being 90 degrees to the floor, which is correct, they come in with it being flat to the floor, which is showing dominance. I have a wee story. Can you just hold a moment, please, model? When I was working in the bank, I was meeting a customer and he came in and he tried to dominate me. Well, I'm not a person who likes to be dominated. So I made sure I offered my hand at the 90-degree angle. And all the way through the handshake, he was turning or trying to turn my hand. So I was fighting him. It was an interesting situation. I've never known anyone to try and dominate me quite so much as this guy did. Needless to say, he came in for a loan and he didn't get it. So there you go, it doesn't necessarily work to try and dominate somebody. The other one is to be submissive, where you put your hand underneath. Again, what is that going to say about you as a person? That you want to be dominated? Are they going to think you have confidence if you go in with a submissive handshake? So the best handshake is your hand at 90 degrees to the floor and you pump it up and down. Makes sense? And nice and firm, etc. So if you can master the handshake, then people will see you as a confident person. If you use anything other than the just right handshake at 90 degrees to the floor, then your confidence is likely to be shattered in the other person's eyes. Just food for thought. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please let me know in the comments below. And make sure you like the video and hit the subscribe button. Make sure you also hit the little bell icon so you get notified when I next upload videos. And check out my other videos. There's all sorts of things and tips on there as to what you can do to improve your confidence or tips on public speaking. Until next time.